So this is a set of very special set for me of Leicestershire small pipes, and it's made from cherry wood that grew by my Aunt Alice's grave in 1944, so I always use the joke that this is part of my family tree. I'm going to play a tune now called Marriott's Jacket, which is for a friend of mine whose photo's up there, called Marriott Jacquet in France, and so this is how they sound. Over the years, I've been making bagpipes for well over half my life, and I'm 68 now, and I've turned a hobby and a passion into a business of making, designing, copying pipes. I go into museums and copy pipes in as greater detail, some of the old ones. I make quite a speciality of the woods I use. I like to source the trees myself and cut them up, and so I can show my customers the tree that their pipes came from. So this is my wood store, where I keep the wood. It's quite shady and dark here because, surprisingly enough, I want the wood to dry as slowly as possible. Actually, people always assume that you want to kiln dry it and dry things fast, but I find when you do that you get cracks and tensions building up. So some of this wood will have been here 10-15 years waiting for the right pipe and the right bit of inspiration. This is my lathe, and that's the sort of centerpiece. It's an old lathe that was made 50, 70 years ago, and it will last and last and last. All these tool handles are made by me. Each tool has a separate use. This is a tank of linseed oil and genuine turpentine. Yeah, this is a drone base made out of cherry tree. I'm going to stick it in this tank of oil, and I have a suction pump here which will create a vacuum. The reason I'm doing this is I want to drive oil deep into the wood. And eventually the oil will harden. It's very satisfying that I feel I've got in my workshop everything I actually need for making pipes. There's nothing, I'm not held back for not having a special piece of machinery. So I've got everything I need. This time is what I require. But it's very, very satisfying. I think a lot about wood and where it comes from and the kind of connections there. Some of the yew wood that I use came from Dalkeith Palace. Don't tell the Duke of Buccleuch about that. And I've got an apple here. I use apple wood quite a lot, and if I cut that up there's a pip inside there, and if I planted that pip I'd get a tree. And in 70 or 80 years time someone might be able to make a set of pipes out of that, or some other instrument. Got a set of pipes here made out of apple wood. Now this apple tree grew in my grandfather's garden, and before we cut it down I got enough apples to make 48 bottles of wine, so I've got well, I've drunk quite a lot of them. Not many people get to see this, but this is my wine store where I make wine.